Good morning. It's the 21st day of August 2024, and just two little things shortly. It's a wet, cold, awful cold winter's type morning in August, in the when it should be the best weather of all. We will, of course, have Radio Television and the BBC lining up to tell us that August was the hottest month on record, and July was the hottest month before that, and June and May and all the way back. And every month is hotter than the one before. They don't normally give the degrees of centigrade or Fahrenheit which it's hotter by, but they say it's slightly hotter. Now you would think that sensible people would know that if the temperature is announced as being hotter every month, and there's 12 months in a year, that over a period of a few years we'd be roasting, and instead of that we're freezing. So this should prove to most people that they're lying to us, that Radio Television and the BBC are lying, and they have the government backing them. Like all the scams I'm telling you about here are all backed by a left-wing government of some type, and that's the only way is to fix that. Otherwise, you can't do anything about it. Now, the other thing about it is I often notice there people look at a particular video I make, maybe one on model engineering, maybe one on some technical matter in particular, or else, and they say to me, you want to check such a fella, Mr. Joe Bloggs or Mr. Barney Muldoon or Mr. Raisa so and so or Monica Fitzsimons or something like that. They have done great research on this. Please understand that that is one of the most unscientific things you can post. I don't mind people posting, but I just want to get that across. My problem is not lack of detailed technical knowledge. My problem is getting what I already know accepted generally and enforced. So essentially, I know enough about the SEA, the Strategic Environmental Assessment Directive, to know that it's been broken hand over fist. So my effort is to get groups that are prepared to spend money defending stuff in their area and new constructions is to use this law. That's the hard part, to get people to use or to score the goal that's wide open in front of them. The other thing about the electricity and the windmills and all that, there are books written on this years ago, but the level of indoctrination and propaganda is so high that it's not a question of giving facts. I've given facts on public consultations several times. It's ignored. The only way we finally caught them was with a European Court of case 2419, and now a case by Friends of the Irish Environment, who really are not on our side. They're for the green cause. And it's amazing the select of those that we're relying on. We can't get anyone with money in the UK or Ireland to go into court and say this is a breach of the SEA directive. Quite simple. So my problem is to get action on what's done. Now, in relation to politics, it's not all the real fine stuff we know. There's no point in talking about quantum mechanics to a crowd of ladies down in the hairdressing saloon, down in the shop, at the bus stop, or anything else. It's irrelevant. That is, I make it clear on my specialist videos, they're only for specialist audiences. I make that very clear. There's no point. I've been there, done that. The point is to try and get the public to understand the degree to which they're being scammed, to which they're being stupid, treated as idiots. And we see in America, there is such idiocy. There is a total and utter idiocracy. So what I need advice on is not who I should contact. There's a man in France, and he discovered that there's a bacterium that'll grow cogs on a broken clock wheel. I don't want that. I'm not in the least bit interested in that. I want to know how we can get the ordinary public to see that what I'm saying is factual and that the government is their greatest enemy. They're after coming along with 25% of the vote in England and electing for 4 years the greatest anti-social, anti-environment rascal and anti-industry rascal ever was, who will conscript the young people and put them in the muck over some part of Europe and get them killed. This is what we have to get across to the people. And in respect of Ireland, we have to get across that Fianna Fáil, Labour, Fine Gael, Sinn Féin, the Greens, People Before Profit, Democratic Socialists, that they are all communist parties, that they are not the traditional parties. They're just various degrees of communism and extreme socialism and extreme give all away and extreme give all away and mass migration, replacing people. We need to get that across and to put it in basic common sense that there's a bag, like we'll say this bag here, and this is the bag for the lefties. This is the bag for those who are destroying our country with all of this junk, with all of this green junk, with all of these electric cars, with all of these stupid wind turbines and solar farms, and with all of these migrants. This is where they are. Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, Labour, the Greens, People Before Profit, Sinn Féin, and Democratic Socialism. That's it. And some of the independents who are going to get you an ambulance twice as fast and get your granny's hip fixed and all that, while they say, like Mary Lou McDonald said, I don't blame the migrants, I blame the government. So if you bring in enough migrants, what government could ever tackle it? So you see the lies that's being told. So you look at this as a bag. Instead of contacting some fella that has some wonderful thing to say about some particular subject, this is what I need from my viewers. How do we get people to see that all of these crowd, all of these parties are all the same, that they're all the same, and that you vote for any of them, you get the same sows, pigs. So here you are, put them in again. There we are. So these are just egg boxes. Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, Sinn Féin, Labour, and then you have the Greens and all the other rascals in the rest. This is what you do if you vote for any of them. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get the coalition of the whole lot of them, every one of them determined to destroy our country. And then we come along and we say, well, there's a different bag. Here's the bag here, and this is the only hope you have. You put your vote in here and you get the Irish Freedom Party and National Party, and these parties will not change. And notice that I left out Independent Ireland. They are still silent on where they stand. I don't trust them. So this is what you have. You have this group, a small group, and you have this group. And you decide where you're putting it. And there's only one decision. Do you put it in this one or do you put it in that one? That's it, folks. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Comment underneath. This is the reality. Our task is not to convince each other. You wouldn't believe the amount of emails I get from people all over the world try to convince me that there's something wrong with energy policy, or there's something wrong with electric cars, or there's something dangerous about them, or there's something wrong with something. I have made that clear. The reason of my videos, the reason I'm on here at all, is to try and persuade people that this is the real situation, and hopefully that they will spread the word and make it more and more difficult for the established media to continue to indoctrinate people. And they're so intense about it, they're now starting to indoctrinate children of 4. So people may wake up to that. All we can do is try our best and see how it goes. If we fail, well, we have tried. When we're years ahead and we're still alive, when we look back, we say, well, I tried my best. And throughout history, that has been the situation. Some people tried and succeeded, and some people tried and failed. If I were in Germany in 1935 and did a proper assessment and went to Hitler's meetings and all and listened, everyone would condemn me, say, oh, he was at Hitler's meeting, oh, he was at it, oh, Sieg Heil, and all that. But if I listened carefully to what was being said and spoke to some of the people around him, it would rapidly become apparent to me that he was going to murder everyone who didn't agree with him. And therefore I'd go around to the Jewish community, to the gays, to everyone, to anyone that was anyone different to him, and even on Crystal Night he attacked Germans who didn't altogether agree. And what was needed to be done there was to warn the Jews to get out escape Germany and get into Switzerland or get into somewhere where they couldn't kill you. It was as simple as that, and maybe even other countries would. The United States wouldn't take them. But Britain took some, and there was a man who died a few years ago there, a Jewish person from England, who did bring a lot of them over. But at least if they were told, right up to 1940, a lot of Jewish people in Germany thought they were safe enough. They didn't think Hitler would do this. And how do you convince them, even when their life is at stake? So it's the same with this. My struggle is to get this across to ordinary people, that they're being made fools of, that they're being ruined, that their country's been ruined, and that their previous generations saw this, and previous generations rose up, and they see the effect of mass migration, and they see the effect of a stupid energy policy and all of this, and that they need to decide what to do. And there's only one thing they can do, and that is get up on election day and go down to the polling station and cast a vote for the parties I've said. Cast a vote for candidates who will definitely stop it. And the word is not good, because a lot of people on my side of the argument saw the referenda in earlier this year, I think it was in March, on the family in Ireland, on the status of the woman in the home and all this, and they voted 71% no. And a lot of people saw that and they said, there you are, the people are turning, they're changing. And then they stood for election themselves and they discovered no, there was a small turn towards independent Ireland, certainly, but independent Ireland, we don't know what to make of them. They may be a fraudulent Fianna Fáil. So just a Trojan horse. We don't know. But the thing about it is, some of them thought they'd vote for John Waters, they'd vote for Una McGurk, and Niall Boylan and other people like this. I'm not saying whether they're right or wrong, but they thought they would, but they didn't. They didn't. And in most parts of the country, and particularly Munster, they voted for Una McGurk and didn't cross to Michael Leahy. They didn't transfer the vote, they transferred over to the Greens. So you got people voting for me and then voting number 2 for the Greens, if the House is in. Do you understand me? And people voting for the Greens and voting number 2 for me. So that shows an idiocy of unbelievable proportions. And all we can do is try and warn people about it. Trying to warn people about it and all of that. So we can try that. That's where I need the skill. That's where I need the help. Not interested. Some fella made a video in California and he says this and that. Not in the least bit interested. I can dig them out myself. If there's some fella doing something on a machine tool, or he's doing some kind of silver soldering, I might make that a special video for somebody else. But that isn't the main problem we have. The main problem we have is what I'm saying, is the destruction of our entire way of life. There's a guy called Jeff Taylor there. He does videos on it. He's very, very good. He's an Englishman, and he makes the point that Britain is now slowly but surely transforming to a Muslim state, and it will be the first Muslim nuclear power state in the world. And that's the way it's going. And in the street riots, the government in Britain under Keir Starmer are letting the Muslims do what they like, and they can run riot. They can go into pubs, tell people to stop drinking, tell the barman to stop serving alcohol and all of this, and impose Sharia law by the back door. And when an Englishman complains, he's jailed for often 2 years, and the Prime Minister is gloating about it. And people think they'll get him out, and the way they go out to Liz Truss and all that. You know something? He's left wing. He'll be there. He'll be there for at least 4 years, and they'll probably re-elect him again. That is the reality until you have actually achieved a full Muslim caliphate in Britain, and it fully armed with nuclear weapons. So where is that going to go? That shows you how extreme the whole thing is. Comment underneath. We'll see you back. Thank you. Bye.